Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. In this video, I will give you some information about silent letters, and let's get to the video. Let's start. Silent letter number 1 is the P. P has 2 rules, and rules number 1 is dumb, from, bump, thumb, and climb. And rule number 2 is depth, dope, debtor, doubtful, and subtle. And number 2 is C. C has 2 rules, and rule number 1 is muscle, scissor, accent, fascinate, and scenario. And rule number 2 is acquaintance, acknowledge, acquiesce, and acquit. And number 3 is D. D has 2 rules. Rules number 1 is handkerchief, Wednesday, sandwich, and handsome. Rule number 2 is bridge, dodge, grudge, and hitch. Number 4 is E. E has 1 rule. And rule number 1 is hope, drive, give, brave, and bite. And number 5 is G. G have 1 rule, and rule number 1 is campaign, forward, sign, forward, and design. And number 6 is GH. GH has 2 rules. Rule number 1 is thought, true, daughter, light, and fight. Rule number 2 is rough, tough, love, enough, and cuff. And the next one is the H. H has 3 rules, and rule number 1 is what, when, where, whether, and why. Rule number 2 is hour, honest, honor, here, and hair. And rule number 3 is joy, chorus, ghastly, go, and rhythm. And the next one is the K. K has 1 rule. Rule number 1 is knife, knee, now, knock, and knowledge. And the next one is the L. L has 1 rule. Rule number 1 is calm, half, talk, walk, and wood. And the next one is the N. N has 1 rule. And rule number 1 is autumn, hymn, column, and solemn. And the next one is the P. P has 1 rule. And rule number 1 is psychiatric, pneumonia, phenomatic, psychotherapy, and psychotic. And the next one is the PH. PH has 1 rule, and rule number 1 is telephone, paragraph, alphabet, epiphany, and submoron. And the next one is the S. S has 1 rule, and rule number 1 is island, isolate, and wrestling. And the next one is the T. T has 1 rule, and it is castle, Christmas, fasten, listen, and often. And the next one is the U. U has 1 rule, and the number 1 is guess, guidance, gather, guess, guild, and guard. And the last one is the W. W has 1 rule, and rule number 1 is wrap, right, wrong, ring, and wreck. Okay, that's all that I can tell you about silent letter, and see you in the next video. Bye.